Giles, make us stop.
Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And if you listen to this is our Once More We're Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we're doing Season 5, Episode 14, Crush. This episode first aired February 13th, 2001. Written by David Fury and maybe a little bit of Joss as well in there.
Yeah.
Slightly Joss in there. And directed by Daniel Attis. Over to you, Eddie.
All right. This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Yep. Always pause on that one. So much of my time is dedicated to this. A lot of my time. So where do we start, Eddie? Well, just a brief, what's it like for this episode, rewatching it, seeing it the first time?
I think this episode's a really underrated episode. It's a really good Spike-centric episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always enjoyable. You know, we get the return of Drusilla. Absolutely loved Drusilla.
Yep. Juliet Landau,
yeah.
daughter of Martin Landau.
Yeah, so she returns pretty much every line. Like, I had so much trouble trying to pick a quote because every line out of her mouth was just amazingly... It was just amazing.
She even did the shame thing with her finger.
Yes.
Sure, that one's going to come up. So what's it like in the zeitgeist of the Buffyverse fandom?
Well,
is it up there?
You know what? It's not really going to be someone's favourite episode. Like, it won't come up as someone's favourite episode, but it's not on the lower end of the spectrum.
So just a medium sort of tier. We're talking Buffy episode, are we? Or
yeah, it's probably medium.
Medium tier?
Little bit higher than that.
Higher?
It's because it's so Spike-centric and Spike... it is that thing. It's like a comedy of errors where just Spike is just trying so hard.
And just failing.
And it's just, you just watch him get humiliated again and again and again.
Giles, make us stop.
You know, he... but it does come down to his character. Like, he's such a great character to talk about. Yeah.
So it's just him, Spike being Spike. You do you, Spike.
Yes.
You do you. Yeah.
Did you want to do the?
Yeah. All right. Let's do a quick summary, then we'll get back to it. At the newly renovated Bronze, Spike chats with Buffy, who was baffled by his friendliness. A train arrives in Sunnydale with dead passengers and a mysterious attacker. Buffy reads about the train murders and concludes that it's a vampire. Buffy searches Dawn and finds her with Spike. Dawn admits to her own crush on Spike, but really shocks her sister when she says that Spike has a crush on Buffy. Buffy and Xander investigate the train, and Buffy confesses the possibility of Spike loving her. Buffy returns home and finds her mother and sister talking in the kitchen with Spike. Spike tells Buffy that he has a lead on some vamps from the train. On a stakeout in Spike's car, Buffy is unnerved by some of Spike's behaviour. Buffy and Spike enter the vampire's lair, but the vampires immediately run off. Buffy realises that the warehouse is a vampire nest and thus couldn't have been involved in the train massacre. When Spike holds the door open for her, Buffy finally demands to know why he's acting like this and if everything that has just happened was Spike's version of a date. Spike loudly denies it at first and admits he wants it to be, but Buffy reacts with disgust. Spike returns to his crypt where he's greeted by his sire and longtime love, Drusilla. Harmony arrives and yells at Drusilla for hurting Spike, however Spike quickly dumps Harmony. Joyce and Willow talk to Buffy about the problem with Spike and tells her that she's made it clear to Spike that there is nothing between them. Spike and Drusilla dance at the Bronze. Drew spots a couple on a catwalk for them to feed on. She snaps the neck of the girl and Spike feeds off her. Buffy goes to confront Spike at his crypt but discovers he's shrined to her. As she tries to leave, she is attacked by Drusilla, who is then betrayed by Spike. Buffy awakens to find herself chained up with Drusilla, tied to a pole across from her. Spike professes his love and offers to kill Drusilla to convince Buffy of his love. Buffy rejects Spike again and he goes into a rage. Harmony arrives and shoots Spike with a crossbow. While Harmony and Spike fight...
Good on her. Good on Harmony.
Good on you, Harmony. While Harmony and Spike fight, Drusilla breaks free and goes after Buffy. She saves Buffy, causing Drusilla to run off heartbroken. Harmony tells Spike that she is done with him. Once alone, Buffy punches Spike. Spike follows Buffy home and tries to persuade her of their connection. But as he attempts to follow her into her house, he discovers that she has had his invitation revoked. The end.
Yes.
Okay, Edie, where do you want to start with this?
So Spike is an interesting character to talk about. With and without a soul, he was a hopeless romantic. And he seems to be constantly drawn to women that he can't have. He can't truly have them.
It's the chase, isn't it?
Well, is it the chase, or is it part of being a hopeless romantic that you can't have them? Like, it's the suffering that, they kind of feed, they kind of like the suffering.
Well, isn't that how his character started?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
He was that woman that was very effulgent.
Cecilia. Yeah, Cecilia. So he's, as I said, he's always drawn to these women that he can't have.
Yeah.
And even Drew, he never really truly had her. Like, she was constantly cheating on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you find out her and Angel were always, she was pretty much with both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that the appeal of chasing after Buffy is that it is sort of his inner romantic. When he was sort of that leftover trait from when he was human, that part of the appeal is the suffering.
Yeah. Almost like the Romeo and Juliet thing where it's forbidden love that
yes.
you can't have her because she's from another family or whatever. So the chase is what appeals to him, and it must be like a psychological thing that triggers where he could be with Harmony and be happy with her.
Well, that's the whole thing.
He's not.
Well, the whole thing is that she's the only one that she is desperate for his affection, and you can kind of see this mirroring happening where he is treating her the way that Buffy treats him.
Yeah.
So, and I do love her little declaration at the end where she's just like, she's like, I gave and I gave and I gave and nothing, you're not even a little bit nicer to me.
Kiss these puppies goodbye.
Yeah. No, I think my favourite line of hers was, I gave you my best months of my life.
Only a few months.
Yeah. So, and this is unfortunately the last time we see Harmony and Buffy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she goes off to Angel, does she?
Yes, she does become a character on Angel.
Too good of a character to let go.
I think they pretty much make her a main character by the 5th season. She's sort of there but not there.
Yeah, okay.
Reoccurring, and then they make her a main cast member pretty much in the last season.
Called her Morticia too.
Yes, exactly. And she was in the Addams Family. So David Fury didn't really like the direction that this show was going in regards of Spike and Buffy. So to keep people from romanticising the relationship, they inserted that line about the Hunchback of Notre Dame that Willow says. Yeah, Quasimodo.
Yeah.
And it's, Willow says, I just don't see why he couldn't end up with Esmeralda. They could have had a wedding right there beneath the very bell tower where he laboured thanklessly for all those years. And then Tara says, no, see, it can't end like that because all of Quasimodo's actions were selfishly motivated. He had no moral compass, no understanding of right. Everything he did out of love for a woman who would never be able to love him back. Also, you can tell it's not going to have a happy ending when the main guy's all bumpy. Which is just describing Spike.
Okay, all right, all bumpy face, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much fully, and everything that he was doing it for selfish reasons.
Yeah, not for her love, not for her benefit.
Well, he was doing it for her benefit, but not
her love.
Yes.
It was his love.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he tries a number of different tactics throughout this episode to try and get Buffy to notice him, so to speak. And the first thing that he does is when you see him in the bronze, and I remember first watching this and I'm like, what the hell is he wearing?
Yeah, he wasn't wearing his leather jacket, was he?
No, so he doesn't have his trademark coat.
Yeah.
He's wearing this sort of knee-length coat. It's a it looks like something Riley would wear.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a leftover prop from Riley.
Yeah.
And he has like a shirt and tie on. And it's great. Like it's like a green. Like normally you see him he's normally in either black with like a little bit of red. Like that's normally what he's wearing. But in this, no, he's in this weird green shirt.
Green doesn't suit him.
No.
Doesn't suit him at all.
Yeah, he gets a few different looks in this as well. And then later on, I think he's in like a sweater. He sort of looks, again, very Riley-esque as well. And then it's not until Drusilla shows up that he puts his Spike uniform back on.
So can we talk about, I suppose this episode, there's no big bad. It's just a character-driven episode. There's no existential.
Well,
there's no sort
Drusilla is the big bad.
Oh, but but it's not really a mystery they solve. Like she does it. It's a pretty intense killing, which is kind of similar to that in Dracula when a ship comes in and everyone's dead. If you remember,
yeah.
So of course she comes into town on a train and everyone's dead. But they sort of mention that mystery, but it's never really brought up again.
Yeah.
In the episode. So it's not really a mystery that they're trying to solve.
It's sort of a mystery, but it's Drusilla. But also remember, Drusilla is very, very dangerous. She She killed Kendra. She's not.
Yeah, what I'm saying though, in this episode, it's not really a monster of the week. More of a character-driven sort of episode, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's more. The episode's called Crush, and it's really about Spike's crush on Buffy.
Yeah. Which I don't mind. That type of episode, I think that's you could call it a filler almost, but I think it's pretty important.
No, it does end up being quite important.
I can already feel that it's quite important because we've been building up on this for a long time. This whole season, I think, we've been building up on his infatuation with her.
Yeah.
Possibly prior to that. I can't remember when it started.
Oh, I reckon it started season 2, like
when he first saw her.
When he first saw her, like the way that he was looking at her in that.
Yeah, but obviously that wasn't part of the storyline that is now. They can turn it wasn't intentional, I think, from that point for them where they're going to go. But when do you think it really started with his infatuation? Like this whole season, he's been stealing her clothes and stuff like that, and standing outside her house.
So within this season, when
was
did
it just
start?
This season, or
no? I honestly,
well, he came back, didn't he?
He came back to Sunnydale. He really shouldn't have come back to Sunnydale.
Was that when it sort of started? Was it as soon as he came back?
Yeah, I honestly think it started the moment him and Drusilla arrived in Sunnydale. That's when the obsession started.
Okay, but that wasn't it didn't seem sexual though.
Really? It seemed very sexual the way that he spoke to her.
Yes, but I think where we are now, like from where it started, obviously he was obsession to kill her.
In one of his first meetings, he's like, the way that he sexualized absolutely everything he said to her.
Yeah. But so where we got from there to where we are now, like there was a bridge part and then we're in the obsession part, in the
even Drusilla. Well, I think once they teamed up together, maybe in season 2. Right. Maybe then.
Okay.
So, because it was after that Drusilla was saying, like, she couldn't get over that. And that she knew that he had this obsession.
Oh, she said something, didn't she?
Yeah. She was like, he's had this obsession with her, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, she just says that all she can see is her floating around his head.
Yeah, but it was played off as in, like, obsession to kill her, but obviously it's manifested, and he's not even hiding it anymore, or virtually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was funny, as I said, the tactics he was taking to prove that he was a good man.
So, yeah, we had the stakeout scene as well.
Yeah. But before that, you have him talk, like he's looking after Dawn, like he was hanging out with Dawn in the crypt.
Yeah.
And then you had him with Dawn and like he went to get on the good side of the mum. And he was having like a full-on fun conversation with with Joyce, and he actually looked like he was enjoying the conversation with Joyce.
Yeah, sitting on a kitchen bench.
Yeah, he was like fully relaxed.
Like a teenager.
He was fully relaxed having this conversation with Joyce, and he was just like, "Oh, you're going to have me in stitches again, Joyce. You can't tell me that story again."
I'll tell you the story about the tomatoes.
And then he tries to be, you know, helpful Spike. Like he's trying to help Buffy. So
Yeah.
he's like
Trying to lead her on to some clues as to the mystery she's trying to solve.
Yeah.
Which he knew was like bogus. Like it obviously wasn't those guys. He just,
no.
He just knew there's some vampires in there. Well, they've been there before, haven't they? Was that the same drug den that what's
Yeah,
name
it looks
was
pretty like the moment they saw. I think it's one of the funniest comic moments of the series. It's like Slayer, and they're like they sort of puff up a little bit and then bolt.
They're gone. Off they go.
They're making popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So finally Buffy like kind of cracks it.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell is going on? And then, is this a date?
No.
Or is this your version of a date? And then he sort of admits his feelings. Yeah. But then she won't let him say that he loves her.
Yeah.
She won't let him. And she fully shuts him down, goes home, and then Joyce proceeds to victim shame her by saying, "Did you do something to lead him on?" I'm like, oh, Joyce, really? Really? She hits him like she's... Yeah, apparently beating him up is like third base.
For him it is, I'd imagine.
Yes. And anyway, he goes back home. Drusilla's there. Drusilla wants to get back together with him.
Yeah.
Harmony rocks up, starts yelling at Drusilla. And then, Spike dumps Harmony.
Yeah, on the spot. Yeah,
on the spot. And gets back with Drusilla. So you sort of have these three women that are his past, present, and future.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, he sort of, by the end of it, he loses all of them.
Yeah. Yep, just pick one, mate. You could have
picked
one and you got none.
Been perfectly happy with Harmony. But no.
And then he could have been perfectly harmony with Drusilla, who's been chasing for the better part of a century or so.
Yep.
Yeah, but then said no to that, and went to the one he couldn't have, which circles back to what you were talking about before.
Exactly.
So he had a choice of 2 out of 3, and then he ended up with none.
Yeah.
So the odds were actually in his favour.
So there were 2 there that he could have.
Yeah.
And instead
2 out of 3, and then he's got none out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his whole plan at that point was similar to what he had said in Lover's Walk, where he was going to find Drew, tie her up, and torture her until she loves him again. Like that was his plan on getting Drusilla back.
Wow. Okay.
Is exactly what he tried to do to Buffy.
Not a great plan.
But also another mirror and callback is that in the episode Angel kills Darla in a way to prove that he is in love with Buffy. And I think Darla had tried to get back together with him in that episode.
Wow, okay. So it worked for Angel.
Yeah, so it worked for Angel.
Well, maybe it wasn't a bad idea. I don't think Angel tied up.
No, he didn't do that part, but he did kill, his evil ex, so to speak.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring up something. So can we bring up consent?
Yes.
Well, drink it.
You have a milkshake and I have a milkshake.
No, we're not doing the milkshake.
So the whole thing of him chasing her. Now, I know where this goes in the end. And you would think that what he's done in this episode would just kill any chance or any possibility of them being together.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kidnapped her, knocked her out, tied her up.
Well,
almost
there's
got her
a couple
killed.
of episodes coming up where he does kind of redeem himself.
Yeah, but you would just look at this and think you'd say that's if you didn't
Oh,
watch.
this isn't even the worst thing he does to her.
But just taking this episode, you just think it would be over, okay, and there'd be no chance virtually, okay. And it just reminded me of other TV shows where stuff like this has happened. So you remember Happy Days?
Oh, yes. I was thinking about this before. It's that wearing them down.
Yeah, it's the wearing them down. So Chachi and Joni
and Chachi, yeah.
So the first time they meet and she pretty much tells them to piss off. And it became a I don't remember the show that well, but I do remember he was constantly pursuing her and she was constantly telling him to piss off.
Yeah, it was the constant joke.
Yeah, and it was a constant joke.
And she would have these new all these new fancy
quips to throw at him
every time he asked her out.
Yeah. And then eventually she said maybe. And then the series actually ended with them getting married.
Yeah. Well, another show of the wear me down thing is probably Big Bang Theory. Like Leonard ends up just pretty much wearing Penny down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just pursuing her endlessly and then I think he does this thing where he constantly asks her to marry him. And she's constantly saying no.
Is that the way to chase women? Is that problematic these days or what? I mean, it's played off as cute and harmless. Constantly asking this woman out when she says no. Just another show I want to mention was a British show called Men Behaving Badly.
Oh, yeah.
It had that Doc Martin guy in it.
Yeah.
And a couple of the British version. There was an American version.
Yeah.
It had Roy Schneider in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So in the British version, it was the two guys living together. One of the guys was single and was constantly trying to pursue the girl who lived across the hall in their apartment block. In the British version, the guy was, always trying, but, failing. One episode, she's trying to move out and he's trying to make the place look like a shithole so no one will take her apartment. And in the American show, Rob Schneider played the part... Rob Schneider, sorry, not Roy Schneider from Jaws. Mm-hmm. Rob Schneider played the part of the friend, but he was a lot more pathetic in the American version.
Yeah.
So in the British version, he was a bit more charming, so it seemed like he did have a slight chance, but in the American version, it was just like god awful. He's serenading her at her door while she's in his apartment with his friend, saying, "Oh, is he still out there? I want to go home," or something like that. So, a bit of a tangent there, I guess. So, yeah, the whole consent thing of consistently chasing a woman down and wearing her down until she says yes. So, I just wanted to ask. I know I don't want to get to a political debate, but is it problematic to do something like that now, to have a character constantly pursue a woman who says no? Because it's always played off as charming and innocent in these TV shows and stuff.
Well, I think they always have some sort of friendship going. As I said, the Big Bang Theory one works because they were together. He just wore her down on the marriage thing.
Oh, they actually were together?
Yeah, so they were together,
okay.
But she kept refusing to marry him.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just asking to marry her just outright. Oh, okay, right.
No, I think they break up and get back together a bunch of times.
I think this is ringing a bell now, actually. I didn't know the show that well.
But there is the fact that, he's constantly asking her to marry him and she just keeps knocking him back.
So you think it can be played in a sweet sort of way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even this way in Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Could you do that if they were to do the remake that they keep not talking about or comes up every now and again?
See, this was the problem, is that there's so much chemistry, and James Masters is just disgustingly hot. Disgustingly hot. Like his jawline is...
And that little shaved eyebrow thing. Oh,
yeah. Like his jawline could cut ice. It's just...
And SMG is not bad on the eyes too, so that'd make a great couple.
So they are just... Yeah, and he is kind of perfect for Buffy in a way, except for the fact that they have this very sadistic sort of relationship.
It's kind of what's it called? Fucking and punching?
Yeah, fucking and fighting.
Fighting.
But for him, I guess that's where the passion comes from. Like, he can't have it too easy.
Yeah.
Easy is boring.
Exactly.
And he said that before, love is fire. And, he had that big poetic speech about Angel and Buffy when they weren't together. And going, you guys, you'll never be friends. You can't be friends.
Yeah. So in conclusion, that'd be okay now?
I I think it depends how it's done.
Yeah.
And also, if there's reason.
What about the real world? Does that work?
Probably.
Can you wear them down? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think you've got to play it a certain way.
All right.
Like it can't be done as a
Maybe
stalk.
don't tie them up. Is that the key thing?
Yeah.
And threaten to kill your ex in front of them because you love them so much.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that. All right. That's
So all of his tactics. So he's tried tying her up and torturing her, like what he said he was going to do to Drusilla. And then in the end, he just resorts to begging.
Yeah. It gets pretty pathetic, doesn't it?
And by the end of it, he's lost all the girls.
Yeah.
And Buffy's very close to just dusting him. And it does sort of, that's the other thing. Why hasn't she dusted him if she's so repulsed by him? It's almost like, I think you've said it before, they like having him around because he's like their pet vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how this all transpires later on. So are you alluding to something there? The fact that is that what makes him suspicious that she may have feelings for him because she hasn't dusted him? Does that play?
I think she's very attracted to the dark side of him.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of mirror or shadow her own dark side that she has, like that Slayer part of her.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah, and he does fight side by side with her.
Yeah, well, I guess you could say they're work colleagues.
Yeah.
So, they say about dating people from work,
That's what it happens.
It happens. Now that's problematic.
All right. So there's not actually a lot of other storylines going on in this other than I think Willow mentions
the nosebleeds or something?
Yeah, her headaches and that. And I think they've done that so that they can't keep using that teleportation spell.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because that would just be too easy.
Yeah, made it too OP, Yeah. Gloria's here. Hang on. Transpondius, is it? No? Spontaneous transpoder, or what is it?
I don't know. Let's throw glitter on the bitch and clap our hands together. Yeah.
Pentrotus, is it? No? Spentrotus?
What is it? Pin to my scrotum.
Pin to my scrotum.
Expelliarmus.
Yeah. No, I got to shut that down.
So they've got they set that up, and then that's
about it. Not much else was going on.
There's a little bit of Xander. That's right. There's Xander. There's Xander getting upset that Dawn doesn't have a crush on him anymore.
That was a little creepy, wasn't it?
Really creepy.
I mean, he plays it off for laughs. So, she doesn't crush on me anymore.
No, I'm the one that she has a crush on. Like, he kind of liked the fact that she had a crush on him.
Yeah.
It's kind of really gross.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I'm trying to sort of justify it, but no, I don't want to.
It was gross. It was really gross when he was bragging about it to Giles, and then him getting upset that she no longer has a crush on him. Oh, that's right. He was bragging about it in the last episode.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where to go with that. I don't think I will. Straight to the keeper, that one, I reckon.
So yeah, there's not a great deal of other things going on in this episode. It's all about Spike.
Yeah.
And
which was entertaining.
But we could talk about his wall of
his shrine
or his serial killer wall. It looked like he had gone back to that mansion that Angel or Angelus used to live in, and he'd collected all of Angelus's drawings of Buffy.
Oh, okay.
Unless, because, have we seen, I don't think Spike was he wasn't really the artist. It was more Angel that used to draw those obsessive Buffy pictures.
I don't remember him drawing those, to be honest, but...
Angel.
Yeah, or Angelus, you're saying Angelus?
Yeah, Angelus used to draw them.
The evil one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's what most of his wall was made up of, was those drawings.
Oh, and the role-playing with Harmony?
Oh, that's right, the role-playing.
So she was all into it. She knows exactly what he wants. So she was that's commitment from a partner. I got to say, pretending to be another woman that you know that you hate.
But I think even Harmony can tell at this point that he's obsessed with Buffy.
Yeah, but she's still hanging around. I mean, that's commitment.
Well, she was you know.
You shouldn't let a girl like that go. She's willing to dress up as another woman for you.
Yeah.
Like an actual person, not like a famous person.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, so if you're like, hey, could you dress up as my friend's wife or something? Sure, honey, why not? Like,
Yeah. Remember that bitch in school you hated? Can you just pretend to be her?
to be her. Remember your boss? Can you dress up like your boss for me? Oh dear, he was a dude. I know. All right.
So had you seen this episode?
No, I hadn't seen this episode. No, it's a new one for me.
And did you go down any rabbit holes?
So just the musical acts for this. So we actually got the bronze for the first time.
Yeah,
in,
we haven't
like,
seen it
forever.
for a while. Oh,
Yeah.
we had it in Triangle when it got destroyed.
Okay.
That was a few episodes back.
Right, and it was very brief. No, it wasn't brief.
No, that's when it got destroyed.
Yeah. Okay. So the musical acts we had two bands in this.
Yeah.
So they made up double,
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe we should do a double episode. Oh, I don't know. Had Summer Camp, Eddie, performing their song. I can't remember the name of it. Let It Go or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an alternative rock band. Just had really one album, and that was about it. Looked them up. I mean, they basically just sounded like every other band in that era. Made a comment on the YouTube page on one of their live acts they performed about 7 years ago. So, yeah, nothing too interesting there. The second band, Devices, which I was complaining about the name being too generic because the song was called Key. When I was looking it up, Key Devices.
When they were naming the band and their songs, they obviously didn't have SEO in mind.
Well, it's not Devices with an E, so that's probably I was spelling it wrong.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably what was throwing. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there's no E in it. Which then made it very easy to find.
Okay.
So this band is probably a lot more successful than the previous band, Devices. That was the band that had the female singer that they were singing when...
that was when Drusilla and Spike were on the dance floor.
Yeah, singing that very sort of slow indie rock sort of band, but very sort of melancholic, a lot of their music. Very similar to sort of like Frante or something like that.
I think Joss is very...
He has a type, doesn't he?
Yeah. Definitely has a type of music he likes.
Yeah, so a lot. Well, I can't tell success, but they definitely did have. They released 5 albums, so
that's
impressive. 7-inch CDs. Oh, is that 7-inch? Does that mean it's only got 7 tracks? I can't remember what that means anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. They actually had another song released on the Telltale Walking Dead game.
Okay.
Did you ever play that one with Clementine? No?
Nope.
Clementine? You can't play that game. It's too sad. Have a box of tissues when you play that game. It's just a point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
You know the game I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a pretty cool game.
I do remember you playing it.
Yeah, pretty graphic too. You can play it on your tablet and stuff too, like just point-and-click. But yeah, entertaining. Salty Seas, that was a song they had. A pretty sad song. Yeah, really fits it. It was for the closing... the end credits for season 2. I think there was 5 seasons in that video game. Good video game, actually. Recommend it. And actually, I recommend Devices. I listened to some music. I didn't listen to all 5 albums. So I didn't really have time for that. Pretty good. Pretty good album. Yeah, recommend it. Sarah Love is the singer. Love with no E. So L-O-V.
Yeah. I did think of another thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah?
Yeah, so Spike on the balcony.
Uh-huh.
Like, did you wonder why?
The catwalk?
Yeah, on the catwalk.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spike on the catwalk.
Yes.
Did you wonder why he was able to
Oh, the chip.
drink?
Yes. Yeah.
So I have the theory.
So has it been resolved on the show, or this is just a theory?
This is just a theory.
Okay, yeah.
Is that it's because Drusilla killed the person first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah, he didn't kill her. Yes. I did not think of that. That is just so fucking obvious. I think you're absolutely right. So his chip does hurt later on?
Yeah,
no,
his chip is still working.
It's still working,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was already dead. Yeah, because she did the whole quick snap thing, didn't she? Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
And then I think it might have hurt him when he started to do the bite face, but or did Drusilla do some sort of
spell or something?
Or she sort of has that hypnotizing thing that she can do.
It did seem like she was shimmering him. Not shimmer? Is that what you call it? Him
Yeah.
a little bit, where he sort of changed a little bit to the old Spike almost when she was like.
Well, he also said, "I'm back."
Yeah. Okay.
The old me is back.
Okay. It's a bit more obvious than what I
Yeah.
thought. Right. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Question time.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, Eddie. Question time.
So, Jared,
Yes, Eddie.
which character was your favourite in this episode?
Oh, Drew. I did love Drew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spike was good though. Spike and Drew were good, but
Oh, look,
seeing
I
Drew
think-
back again, her entrance was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Just killing everyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, vampires are killers.
Yes.
And maybe paying homage to Dracula as well with his entrance when he killed everyone on the ship.
Yep. Yeah, I have Drusilla as well.
Oh, Bram Stoker's Dracula I was talking about, not the Dracula we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drusilla, yeah, okay. That's one.
Mainly, so I probably would have said Spike, except that he does some pretty horrendous things in this episode that are kind of a little bit unforgivable.
It's almost like the old caveman knock him on the head, drag him back to your
Yes,
cave method,
exactly,
isn't it?
Exactly. So yeah, anyway, it goes to Drusilla. Like, she's fantastic in this episode. And then I'll just give a little side note to Harmony as well, because this is her last.
Okay, nice.
This is the
send-off.
last time we'll see Harmony.
All right,
so
fair enough. Yeah.
I'll just give her a little. She gets half a point.
What the heck is this?
Half a point for Harmony. That's fair.
Yeah.
I will allow that.
All right. Which character do you love to hate?
So I think Spike I kind of love to hate, actually.
Yeah, I
He's-
went Spike is next level creepy in this
he's
episode.
really pathetic, in the
Yeah.
end. Just begging her on the street, please
Yeah.
take me.
Yes. LOL moment of the episode.
There's a fair few, wasn't
There's a
there?
bunch of them.
Yeah, the Spike getting slapped, I think.
Which
by,
time?
By all of them. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Bang, bang, bang. You could play that in a little sort of GIF.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Harmony and Spike role playing. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm going to get you. And then he just sort of flies. It's this weird thing where he just sort of flies out of nowhere with no shirt on. That makes for a very comic moment.
Yeah.
And then, the two vamps in the warehouse as well. Like, the moment they see the Slayer, and then like
Yeah, you think they're about to have a showdown or something, and then
Yeah.
they're like, nope.
nope,
Nope.
they just bolt.
Slayer. Nope.
Favorite fight scene?
I like the Drusilla versus Buffy little fight scene they have where she's chained up
Yeah,
and like head banging her and doing kick flips, and
yeah,
so I thought it was a pretty good fight scene because Buffy was like fucked, like Drusilla like just killed 6 people on a train, so like she was like, oh, this is I'm all over this.
yeah, yeah.
So and managed to fight her off, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I went dungeon fight scene, but with Harmony trying to kill Spike the whole time. Like they had this very pathetic fight going
Yeah.
on where there was like hair pulling, and then she's like she's like, ouch, you're on my hair.
Oh, was it the hair pulling her fights, aren't
Yeah,
they?
and then she like starts pulling the arrow that's in his back. Like they have this very scrappy kind of fight. Like it's not your technical martial arts.
While there's other brilliant fights going on, so you went the lame one, which is fair enough, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't the best fight scene; it was favorite fight scene. So
Favorite scene.
again, there was a lot, but I wanted to go something different. I thought Spike telling Dawn the scary story scene was quite a good scene. Them just sitting there and he's like just telling her what he did. And it was almost like those campfire stories, except he was the person in the story. So but everyone turned out okay, right? Didn't they? I think in the end, they were fine.
Gave her a good home.
Gave her a good home. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm glad that ended
Didn't
well.
eat her. No,
Didn't
definitely didn't eat her.
Yeah.
I went Spike and Buffy in the car.
Yeah. Doing the stakeout.
Doing the stakeout of the warehouse because it's just this very bizarre.
Well, there's a scene where he leans over.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm getting something out of the glove compartment.
And she offers it to him. Like,
Yeah, he offers it to her.
And she's like, ew. And she's like,
Like-
it's not blood, it's bourbon. And he's like, ew.
Ew.
And then he tries to start talking to her about music after he starts singing the Ramones. Yeah. It's just this weird little scene.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. Least favorite scene.
Oh, I guess I have to say when Buffy stole the newspaper off that poor bloke who was reading it.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bit rude.
I actually didn't like Spike making the mistakes that he was making in this episode. So the scene I didn't like was Buffy finding the serial killer obsession shrine wall. And then as she's getting out of the crypt,
Yeah.
Drusilla zaps her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And I don't know, having her tied up and Drusilla tied up. Yeah. Not a good mood, but not a good move.
No.
Like, yeah. All right. Favorite quote.
All right, so I had that. It was a Spike and Buffy thing, and where Spike says, just give me something, a crumb, the barest smidgen. Tell me maybe. Someday there's a chance. And Buffy replies, Spike, the only chance you had with me was when I was unconscious. So I guess alluding to the caveman
So
maneuver.
you're telling me there's a chance.
Maybe he should have tried the caveman maneuver.
Yeah. I had so much trouble trying to get a quote, just one quote for this.
Okay, you're just going to recite everything Drusilla says?
Yeah, because pretty much everything that comes out of Drusilla's mouth
With a
is
shame.
just so good.
She does a
It's
thing
so
with her
good.
finger. Shame.
But I'll go with the naughty. Shh. You needn't make up stories. I already know why you're not coming. Poor boy. Tin soldiers put funny little knickknacks in your brain. Can't hurt. Can't hunt. Can't kill.
Knickknacks.
And then also Drew. Not nice to change the game in mid-play, Spike. You've taken my chair and the music hasn't stopped.
Oh, it's just gibberish sometimes, isn't it?
Oh,
It's just-
I love it. I love it so much.
And isn't she muttering stuff when she was tied up as well, but most of it was sort of cut off when she was trying to say something. She had little quips or something she was saying.
She did have a few little, when he starts going on about how it's all her fault, and she's like, is it? Is it really? Like the sarcasm drooping off her voice when she's like, it's all your fault. You dumped me. You cheated on me. You left me. It's all your fault. But I also have one of
It's almost
Harmony's.
like she kind of break character a little bit there. Is it really?
Really? But I also have the one from Harmony as well, which is the, who is this? Oh, wait, I get it. Our little sex game was just the beginning. Now you've gone and picked up some cheap Queen of the Damned to dress up like your precious Druzilla. You'd better not be thinking what I think you're thinking, because my answer is the same as always. No threesomes unless it's boy, boy, girl, or Charlize Theron.
That suddenly made me realise how long Charlize Theron's been around.
Yeah.
Charlize
Theron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's when she won that Oscar, I think, wasn't it? The Arlene, maybe?
Yeah.
around that time, maybe, I think.
I know. Who gets the wooden spoon?
I just gave it to Ben. Just sitting there at the pub, or the Bronze, I should say.
Yeah.
Just looking all nice and charming. Not in his blue pajamas.
Yeah. I might give it to Xander.
Oh, for the Dawn comment.
No, for Spike being able to steal his money. Does a little sleight of hand. Like I think he pretends to spill his beer.
Yeah.
And does this sleight of hand on Xander to steal his change.
It's an old trick. He's been doing that for hundreds of years.
Yeah. Who's the MVP of the episode?
I did write Buffy, but I'm going to change it to Harmony.
Yes, that is the correct answer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And I was going to say that for doing the role play of another person.
Oh.
I think that's got some.
I was going to give it to her for her shooting Spike. She actually
Everyone shot Spike though.
Yeah, but
like,
she rescues. She pretty much rescues Buffy and Drusilla.
well, she wasn't really trying to rescue them. She was just
trying to kill Spike.
She was trying to kill Spike, and everyone shot Spike. So why don't we get a medal for that? Or just
Also, she has her little Declaration of Independence.
Yeah,
that she says.
But I still think it's for doing the role play. I think of someone for Spike of someone else. Like that just takes dedication, and I think it's been unrecognised. So maybe Spike should have got the wooden spoon. I think I can go back on that one.
Yeah, all right.
Spike and Harmony. There's a Spike wooden spoon and Harmony for the MVP. Yeah.
Well, you're giving it to her for the giving it all she's got.
Yeah.
And I'm giving it to her for her Declaration of Independence, where she calls it out that he's a dog.
Yeah.
And that she doesn't need him, and she's out of there.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Harmony, round of applause. Well done. And good luck.
And shooting Spike for the dog that he is.
I said everyone shoots Spike. You get a free coffee after the fifth one. Final question?
Yep, final question. What do you rate this episode out of 10 using something from the show?
I gave it 5 disappearing e-cigarettes.
Oh, that's right. You did notice that, didn't you?
Yeah, he had a cigarette in his ear when he meets Dawn.
Yeah.
Then he grabs a pack and lights one up, and then that cigarette's disappeared.
Yeah.
But he's actually smoking it, like lighting it, while you can still see the other one in his ear.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to play a trick on that he'd forgotten it was there.
Yeah.
But
little continuity error.
Yeah. But the actor forgot it was there.
I think the actor forgot it was there, and that he was probably supposed to grab it from behind his ear.
And he just grabbed it from the pack.
Yeah.
Is he smoking real cigarettes in these shows?
I don't know.
Probably would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they? Now, that's something you probably wouldn't do these days, I'd imagine.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I don't even think you're allowed to have smoking in shows anymore.
Really?
Huh? Unless there's like a historical reason.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Your rating, Eddie?
I'll give this 7 out of 10 fuzzy blue sweaters.
Jumpers, you mean?
Well, they kept calling it a sweater, so
okay,
we know what a sweater is. It's a jumper. Jumper, sweater, same bloody thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, well, we've reached the end of the episode, Eddie. Anything else you want to add in? No, it's too late anyway. I'm just pushing the button. Just jumped on that like a dog on a bone, didn't I? Yep. Okay, well, thanks for listening to us this week. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jared.
I'm Edwina.
And if you like what you're hearing and what you want to listen to more, what will you do?
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. There's a Facebook page. And if you want to help out the podcast, please follow the link tree in the socials for the merch store.
Yes, so like, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. Anyway, I'm out of here. All right, bye.
Bye.